Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Gabin from Design Tribe, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I designed a flyer for an organization. I actually had to design several flyers for them for their back to school program, like the reopening of the organization. So they have several branches all over Cameroon, and I was privileged to design the reopening flyer for their branches. So I'm going to be doing a series on that, and today I'm doing that of the first branch, and it's actually for the Yaoundé branch. So let's get straight to it. So first thing we want to do is to create our project file, and I'm just going to go here to new and create the project file by making my width 2000 and height 2000, resolution 300. I'm going to click on OK, and now once my project is created, first thing I want to do is to create my background color. And for the background color, I'm just going to go down to where I have saved my color code, and once I copy the color code, I'm going to apply it here, and that's the color code I'm going to be using for this design. And once that color code is applied, next thing I want to do is to bring in the resources I used for the design. Just drag this and drop into my project like that. And next thing I will do is I'm going to apply a blend mode known as soft light. And once soft light is applied, I'm going to add a mask to the layer, because I don't want everything within this layer which I've just added to be visible. I just want it to be like a texture to my design. So I'm just going to increase the size of my brush like this. Make sure my foreground color is black and my hardness is turned down to 0%, and I'm just going to dab in like this. So I just need the textures around the top and around this bottom part like that. That is all I need from this as textures. So I'm going to bring in the next image that I used. This is the image of this guy who is praying. I'm going to drop him somewhere here, and for that I'm going to change the blend mode to soft light, and I'm going to paint that on the background a little again to make sure that the textures on the background don't really affect him. So once that is done, I'm going to add a mask like that. Now use my brush, foreground color black, and just paint out the edges like this. When I paint this out like this, I think I like what I'm seeing, so I'm just going to blow it out a little to this position like this. Then I'm going to bring in this other image, the image of the lady worshiping, drop it somewhere here, do same thing, then mode soft light, drop the opacity down a ton to say about 20. I just want her to be like a texture, and also I'm going to take out this other extra stuff here by adding a mask and use my brush, paint this out like this. Okay, and now reposition that. So now I'm going to be adding some other elements into the design. Before that, I want to bring in some color, like select the next color code, Control C, and I'll apply that to my color picker, Control V, the orange color. I'll use my brush and add another layer like that, and I bring it directly above this texture layer, and I think I'm going to increase my brush to something like this. Yep, and I'm going to dab here like that. Oops, undo, the color wasn't applied. Me fill the color like that, and I take OK, and now just dab here like that. I think my color is applied. I will dab once and not twice, so I might need to increase the size of my brush to something like this, and I just dab once like that. Okay, once that is done, there's a text effect I'm going to be creating now. Change my color to white, and I think Acumen variable is the font I used, so I'm just going to click here and type in "we are" like this. We are. Select everything, increase my font size to say 72, and I'll make this bold like that. Okay, Control T, increase the size to something like this. Okay, once that is done, I'll press Control T on my keyboard. I'm just going to warp the text a little. Okay, you can't warp yet. To warp, you need to convert this to a smart object. Then Control T, right click, and I'll click on warp like that. So I'll just warp the text to something like this. Okay, I think I am happy with this. I'll just double click here, select everything. Nope, select the text again. I think I want something thinner. That is a little too thick for my liking. Control S to save it. Back to the project. Yep, I think I like this one. Expand it a little like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create duplicates of this layer and apply them to have a particular text effect. So I'm going to create 4 copies of this. Control J the first time, and I'll take the one that is beneath. Control T, increase the size to something like this, and I push it backwards like that. And then I'm going to create a copy of this layer, and for this one I'm going to push it up something like that. Control T, increase the size to this point, and for this one I'm going to use Control T, Control J, sorry, to create a copy. Control T, move it up to I think about this layer, and increase the size to something like that. Okay, I know this is confusing for you to see right now, but now let me just disable the layers one by one and begin to do the adjustments. I think let me take this right to the top like that. Once I begin to do the adjustments, you are now going to understand how it's all going to work out. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this has to go up like that. So let me turn off this, turn this on. We go here, we add a mask to that layer. We use we switch the brush to black and make sure it's a soft brush like that. Hardness is down to 0. Your foreground color is black, and then we just going to dab here like this. Wipe out this bottom part of the text from here. We just wipe it out like that, and then we drop its opacity to say 71%. So just dab like that. Okay, once that is done, I'll turn on the next one like that, add a mask, drop its own opacity a little lower than 71, so I think 51 is okay, and I'm going to paint out this part like this. To have this kind of wavy effect. And I think I want to move this guy slightly up a little, so the distance is kind of even. And now I'm going to select the next one, that also add a mask to it, and use my brush, dab again like that. So the opacity of this was, I think, 51. This two was 71. So if this is 51, this should be, guess, 41. Okay, so let me just take it down to, say, not 41, let's say 35, or let's say 25. Yeah, something like that. So I think they are a little stronger than should be. I'll just drop you a little like this, drop this one again, so that it actually has that kind of faint transition effect. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, now we have what we need. We're just going to group this, and I'm going to type here we are, like that. And now I'm going to type in, let's see, let me select everything, and I reduce the size to something like this, and I bring it down here for now. And now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the remaining texts. Okay, but before I do that, I'll press Ctrl Command C on my keyboard, and I'm going to use Q to position it like this. And once that is done, I'm going to type in the next text back. We are back. That, select all. Going to use this orange color for that. Like that. Select another font, Montserrat. Like that. Okay. Then I think bold italic. Okay. And position it here. Ctrl T. Reduce the size. Position it here. And then I'm going to skew it again. Okay, we're back, just like that. So you now see it's interfering with the background color, so that means I'm going to have to move this background color up. So I'll just press Ctrl T. I move this up a little to about this position, so this text can be more visible. Okay, perfect. I don't need her face to be too visible. Just drop it to something like that. Okay, and now for this layer, since we moved it, just reposition it so there's a balance like that. Okay, now I bring in the next detail. I think I need to drop this a little in size like this, then move this back a little, then select these two layers, Ctrl T, move it to this end like this. and then I'll type in fellowship with us using the white color. Regular fellowship with us. Select everything, drop my opacity, like layers, the size of the text down to 14, and I think I'll utilize this, change the color to white like that. Should see, just move it here, maybe rotate it like that. Yep. Okay, so we finished the first part. Next thing I'm going to do is to create a shape around here where I'm going to put in the date and the time. So I'm going to create a shape like this, a square shape like this. Change the color to this, and I'm going to skew it. Ctrl T, go to skew it up so the angle matches with this. Just skew it like this. Position is somewhere here. So I'm going to actually bring down this detail like this, and then this part also, since I'm going to be putting the logo up here, let me bring this down a little more like that. Okay, let me just get the logo first. Drop the logo here so you see how much room we have from the top. Okay, I think that is okay. Then I'm going to bring this man thing here, is okay. So now I'm just going to fill in the details. 3 p.m. that I'm going to use acumin variable. Type in 3 p.m. 3:30 p.m. Select everything. Don't want it, but think something like this will do. And I drop the size to about 36. Position it here like that. Ctrl J, the next text, October, OCT, Ctrl T, increase the size like this. Then I'm going to type the date, October 06. Ctrl J, 06 06 2024. Ctrl J, reduce the font size to 30. 2024, and then I'll split this so they are actually on two lines. Select both, make sure it's right left aligned, and close the line spacing to something like this. Ctrl T, drop the size like this. Then now I'm going to change the color of this to white, and I think the color here also to white, like that. Then I'll select all these 4 layers, Ctrl T, and right click skew. I'm going to skew it so it matches with the perspective of this layer. Okay, oops, sorry, think that is okay. Ctrl T, rotate it a little like this. Okay, once that is done, I'm just going to add an effect to this line here. But before I do that, I feel like this thing is a little too big. Ctrl T, I'll reduce the size, something like this, and position it here. Yep, I think I like what I'm seeing. And now I'm going to create a copy of this rectangle layer like that, and instead of a rectangle with a fill, I'm going to turn off the fill, and I'll turn on the outline stroke, something like that. Then I'll press Ctrl T on my keyboard, hold Shift, make sure it's even like that. Then I increase the size, something like this. Once that is done, I'll add a mask to it. This is my brush tool. Make sure it's a soft brush, reduce the size, foreground color black, dab out like this. I don't want this area. And then here I also dab this out like that to create kind of interesting line effect around that text area, just to create a little emphasis around there. And here I'm going to add some text here. So for this I'll use let me say white color. Okay, just type it in, featuring the various activities. So I'll type in featuring the word drama, dance plus more, like that. And for this first text, I'm going to use an orange color here. Select everything, align it left like that. Then for that I'm going to use Montserrat, doing italicized, light italicized. Reduce the font size to say 12. Yep. And then I'm going to make this bold. Ctrl T, position this somewhere here, and I think I'm just going to rotate it a little like that. Okay. Let's type in Montserrat. I think oh, medium is okay. Control T, use the size of the font, something like this. Position it here, then I move this guy up a little, just like that. Then maybe I'll create a copy of this layer, Ctrl J, and position it here like that. Then I'll paint out this other part. This is not necessary, like this. Bring this down, bring this down like that. I think I will need to rotate this a little. Ctrl C, rotate it a little, like so. Then now I'm going to add some additional detail. The venue where the program is going to be taking place at Ctrl T, increase the size, position it here, Ctrl J, create a copy of that. Yeah, Wundi International School of Business. Align it left and move it to left hand side like that. Move this, select this Carrefour Obeli, like that. And then I'm going to add phone numbers. I think the font here is too big, so I'm just going to select these three last layers I created, and I'm going to drop the sizes. Oops, my power is low. Let me just plug in my charger so we can continue. Okay, and drop it like that. Okay, great. Now I'm going to bring in the phone icon. That's it. Position it here. Put the phone numbers. Select that text, put there. Just type in the phone numbers. Contact. (674) space 978 space 75 654 space 183 space 838. What's happening? Oh, sorry. I type in second number 654 space 183 space 838. Okay, and that's the second number. And then I'm just going to bring in Facebook and WhatsApp details. Drop this. Line that like that. And YouTube. Like that. Then I'm going to add a layer here, a white layer here like this. Ctrl T, rotate that, position it here, and I think we're good to go. So we just need to do some light adjustments and we are good to go. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the normal thing I do always. Select everything, Ctrl G, and then merge visible, and then I'm just going to camera raw, and I'm going to just adjust the sliders slightly to enhance the design a little more, like this. Clarity, the haze. If you enjoyed the video, do well to like, support me by liking the video and sharing. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.